Welcome to the Jungle Discipleship School podcast. My name is David Small, and I'm going to be your host on this journey for the next little bit. And I just want to start by saying thank you for being with us, for listening, and for tuning in, and for helping us spread the word about what's going on at the Jungle Discipleship School. Just that you are a faithful listener and someone who is willing to share or send a podcast episode to a friend and have them join our community. That's how we grow, and we're really thankful. We're thankful that you're with us. And I am sitting currently in, a kitchen or a cooking room in Karenni State, Burma. And class is going on. We're on day 2 currently, as I'm recording this, day 2 of the Jungle Discipleship School. We're open for business. We are actually in class recording and doing things. So I've got half the class is with Zadok and Claire. They're over teaching about leadership, and they're going to be doing some leadership games here in a little bit. And then Steve is down the mountain a little bit with the other half of the class, and he's teaching English. It's all happening. So lots to pray about, lots of challenges, and lots of just things going on that we need to face and deal with, and we could really use your prayers. And I was reminded this morning, a friend of mine, Kevin, texted me, and he had just some good words of wisdom. And he says that I trust that these next weeks will be filled with much good in the midst of much challenges. Be sure to soak up the good, because the hard can feel so much more convincing at times. And I just thought these were good words for me in my heart, and I'm sure for all of us, because it's true that the hard times for some reason feel more convincing. And the good times are good times, and they're great times, but we often forget them and breeze past them really quickly. And the hard times we seem to mull about and stew about and just kind of linger in for longer. And there are definitely hard times with the Jungle Discipleship School and getting this started and getting going. And there's still students yet to arrive. We're still praying for more female students. And we're praying there's several students that's kind of stuck inside Karenni State right now, that because there's been big flooding, they're just waiting for the floodwaters to go down before they're able to travel again. And so you could join us, please, in praying for these students to reach us, praying for more girl students. And we just could use a lot of prayer for getting started, the logistics, the relationship with local people and local leaders, and all of our supplies. We have 83 rice sack loads of supplies, not including food, that needs to reach it up to us. And so it's a big undertaking logistically. So we just could really value your prayers and your support. And it was really exciting yesterday just to get started. And we just broke off into some small groups and talked through a couple different things. And then we actually went down to our ground. We're not currently sleeping at our school ground because we don't have any of our supplies yet. But we went down to our ground, and it's just jungle. It's just thick jungle. And so we started to clear off areas that we're going to use and imagine. We started to use our imaginations and say, okay, what if we put a classroom here, and we put a dormitory there, and we can cook over here, and we can run water there. And we're going to have even a spot for a small football field, a small soccer field. And it might have a couple trees as obstacles, but that's good. It's just good defense. And we started to clear stuff, and they said, okay, what should we clear first, the classroom area or the dormitory area? And I said, no, let's clear the football field, the sports field first. And they kind of looked at me like, well, is that really our first priority? And I said to them, we can hang up hammocks in the trees and sleep anywhere. And we can put a tarp down on the ground and make our classroom anywhere. But we can't just play football and play sports in the middle of the jungle. And so let's fight for joy. And let's clear the football field, the sports field first, so that we can do all that other stuff and make that other stuff come alive. But the sports field needs some work before it's usable. And so that's what we tackled yesterday, and we'll be back there today. And I just think it just was kind of a spur of the moment thing, but it felt right to fight for joy. And we often linger in the hard times. We linger in the hard times that feel more convincing than the good times. And it's right to fight for joy, to fight for things that bring us life. And, when the guys are playing football or volleyball or chilo, it's just great to see them out there smiling and laughing. And it's good to have that in our lives. My guest on the podcast today is no stranger to hard times. Her name is Na Zemberpaw, and she is an amazing woman from Karen State, and I just wanted to get her on the podcast so she could share her story with you. And just her life, what it was like being born in Burma in the midst of a war, and her whole life, generations. Her mom, her grandma had lived their life on the run. And Na Zemberpaw runs a cool organization called Food Not Bombs and does amazing work, has given herself selflessly to her people and to the cause of freedom and justice and democracy in Burma. And so I just think you're going to find it interesting to get a perspective of somebody who's lived their whole life in Burma and just what life is like as a Karen person growing up in Burma. And so I've asked Na Zemberpaw to come on and share her story. And we just would love for you guys to take a few moments, hours, however long this takes to pray for Na Zemberpaw and listen to her story and lift up her organization. And we're so thankful that you're with us as well and praying for us. And just some quick little advertising things. If you want to give financially, that's how we keep this whole thing going. And we've got a lot of big bills now, especially that we're starting and feeding everybody every day. It's a lot of rice. And so we covet your financial support, and you can give tax-free through a 501c3 in America and through a Canadian charity. And all that stuff is on junglediscipleshipschool.com. Also, we want to be a school of prayer. And so if you need prayer, we want to pray for you. So on the junglediscipleshipschool.com website is a link where you can click on prayer, and you can send us a prayer request, and be sure that our staff and our students will be praying for you. And there's also our Prayer Warriors sign up email list. And if you want to be praying for us, you can sign up to receive our prayer updates and pray alongside us for the things that are happening here in the school. But with all that being said, I'm just thankful you're with us. And now let's tune into this interview with Na Zemberpaw. Could you tell me a little bit about where you were born and where you grew up?
Yeah, I was born in northern Shanxi, Lashuo.
Okay, yeah.
So that is my original place.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So since I was born till my 16 years old, I was there.
Uh-huh.
So our family is like a very Christianity families.
Uh-huh.
My grandfather as a missionaries in northern Shanxi,
Mm-hmm.
And they studied. They founded one of the big churches in Lashuo.
Oh wow!
There is a Union churches.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that church founder is my grandpa, my grandma, big brothers.
Uh-huh.
So he is my grandpa. So yeah. So they are founded that churches in there, and I growing like very Christianities families. Like I was born until I'm 16. So like.
And what does your mother and father do for work or for a job?
My mother is just a normal housewife, take care of the kids, and my father is as a government officer.
Okay.
But he is like a traditional healer also. Yeah.
Interesting. How does a traditional healer work? Like you grew up in a Christian home.
Yes.
And does a traditional healer, does it contradict Christianity or does it work together with Christianity?
Yeah, traditional healer is not means like or
not like
enemies.
Not like a spiritual healer.
Spiritual healers. He like herbal things
like finding the medicine from
medicines and jungles and then healing the people, something like that.
Oh wow!
So
interesting.
Yeah.
And you have brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I have 4 sisters.
Okay.
I'm the eldest one.
You're the eldest?
Yeah.
Okay. Any brothers?
No.
No brothers.
We have
only girls. Oh wow.
4 girls.
And your mother and father's ethnicity, what are they, Shan or?
No, my father is pure Korean.
Okay.
My mother is Korean and half Shan and Chinese.
Okay, and you were born in northern Shan State because your grandfather was up there working, or why did your mother and father move there?
Since my grandfather's times, he was as workers with the colonies governments.
Okay.
As a forest officer.
Okay.
So he is the one who take care of the Northern Shan State forest management officer. So he was there for his duties.
Okay.
Yeah. So there, and then my mom parts also my grandfather from my mom's side. He is the one who are administration parts in the Northern Shan States. So they was there since my mother, my father's was not born. Yeah. So like that.
And then your first 16 years, you stay in Northern Shan State?
Yes.
And then after that, where did you go?
After that, I go to the Wa State.
State?
Yeah, the Wa government's control area. Yeah, as a missionaries and as a volunteer community development programs. So that both programs is working in there. So I just go there.
Oh wow!
As a missionaries, KBC, Kachin Baptist Conference.
Yeah.
They do the batch program is there.
Okay.
So I joined with them. At that time, I'm only one Korean woman, Korean girl with them.
Yeah.
All people are like Kachins and Lahu, and some are Shans. So I alone. I'm alone Korean. So I go with them to the crossings, Salween River, eastern parts of the Salween River.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a war control areas.
When you grow up, what is your first language?
My first language is like normally our churches they speak it's Burmese language.
Okay.
But at our home we speak Korean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were growing up speaking both languages.
Both language.
And then when you go to the Wa controlled area, is it dangerous? Is the Wa are a little bit have a history? They used to be like a headhunter.
Yes.
And what was that like for you in their area? Were you safe?
For me, it's safe.
Okay.
For me, it's safe. Not Burmese people. At that time, at that area, they don't allow to go the Burmese people freely go and out there. Many checkpoints. So if you are not the Burmese people, it's It's good. It's
then you
really
can go.
go.
Okay.
And also we have a connection with the WA governments and the KBC, the missionaries and the development programs. They have connections. So we are the volunteers from for there, and then so we go there. So for us, no problems.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you? So you were going to school in Lashio when you were young, and what level of education did you finish?
High school.
Okay.
High school.
And that was a year 12, a grade 12 high school, or
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you finished that? Like 16, 17?
Yeah.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you move back to Karen State?
I was there 2 years.
Okay.
In WA State.
Okay.
And then the near the WA State, that also eastern parts of the WA State. Always eastern parts of the Salween rivers. That's called Mopa area.
Okay.
That area also I stayed there 1 year. So when I was 19 years after. So I come to Rangoon for the studies.
Okay.
So 16 till 19 is I was in the jungle areas. Yeah.
And then what about you went to Yangon to study?
Yes.
And what did you study?
The MIT.
Okay.
Myanmar Institute of Technology.
What subject?
I studied socials.
Okay.
Development.
Okay.
Yeah, like that times the whole Burma's area they closed the university. So at that time the MIT they opens that programs they call Bachelor Arts in Religious Studies. So
Bachelor of Arts in Religious Studies. Okay.
So I joined that programs. So I'm the first batch of the bars.
Really? The first group that went through?
First group.
Wow.
So the entrance, they have more than 600 youths come and
try to enter?
The entrance exams.
Yeah.
But they took only 150s. So
okay. Yeah. And you got in?
I got in, and some of my friends also got in. And then, so one of the amazing thing is I am in the jungles like 3 years. I don't have any studies about the English anymore. I just stay there. I use like a jungle language, not a jungle language, like ethnic language. There is in indigenous peoples are there, right? So I use that area indigenous language. Wa, Shan, Lahu. So I don't speak English anymore in that area like 3 years. But I come to Rangoon, the inside area. And when I go for the exams, the entrance exam, I pass. Every people are amazed.
And so, the entrance exam was English.
English. That is an English school, English Bible, English school, and then every language, every subject they teach you with English. So I need to do the entrance for the English.
Wow!
So I pass.
That's amazing.
The day after tomorrow, examinations for the exam, I arrived to Rangoon today. So only 1 day. What I need to do?
1 day of prepare and practice,
and then So that is my life. Just amazing things.
So before that, you would have learned some English in high school.
Yes,
I guess.
Yes.
And that's the only place that you would have studied English.
Yes.
Okay.
So
it's not a lot, but it was enough to get in.
Yes. Okay. That's also amazing for me.
Yeah, miracle. Thank God.
So that are also miracles.
Wow. And so then how many years did you spend there?
4 years.
Okay.
There is a bachelor's program.
Okay.
So 4 years.
I'm curious about what was the situation like in Burma growing up? Today, the situation is crazy. It's very dangerous everywhere. Like, universities are closed and it's like a bad situation. But when you were a child and when you were growing up, what was your relationship to the war, or what was your understanding of the conflict that was going on inside Burma?
Yeah, the conflicts now, the Burma conflicts now is like a come again and again, again and again, like a glue, glue sticking again and again like that. So one my grandmother times, she also need to flee from the delta to the northern Shan State. Yeah. So the Burmese the Burmese peoples and then the Burmese leaders, they are working together with the Japanese groups, and then they kill blah blah blah. That is a very confusing things. Confusing.
Yeah.
So that time, my grandma, they need to run it out from the deltas. So my father's side of my grandma is the one who ran it out for his her life to the northern Shan State, something like that. So till now we are
running.
Yeah. So my niece stay with me. She is from Lasho, and then the Lasho fightings, they need to run it out.
Yeah.
To Chiang Mai.
Wow.
So Lasho to Chiang Mai. That's also. So my grandmother ran.
Like the whole life, the whole generations.
The whole generation ran. We are running.
So when you were growing up, is there fighting happening anywhere in the country when you were young, like from 4 till 16 years old? Do you hear or see?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I was young in Lasho, when we heard about the bombings and then the big gun things.
Yeah.
For us, it's no more.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, there. Oh, here.
And
like that, it's no more.
And you just grow up getting used to it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, there's a bomb over there. Mortar over here.
Or some of the ethnic group come and shoot inside the Burmese camp, something like that. Or they shoot. They are fighting something like that. So.
And okay, so
yes, because of that, I'm what I want to know about the revolution groups are doing. So I decided to go to the WA revolution group area, and how they control their area, how do they are managing. I want to know about. So I decided to go there.
And I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the WA is actually one of the biggest armies or the strongest armies. Is that true? Like the WA army is quite strong. Do you know?
Yeah.
And they also make a lot of weapons.
Yes.
Like other ethnic groups buy the weapons from the WA, and for many years they have been a very strong group.
Yes.
And it's interesting that your childhood shaped you to like be curious about, okay, what are these other groups doing? And then also, maybe I'm wrong, but I think God will lead you to university to study these things that are like, okay, how can I help other groups, and how do other groups structure and build, and God helped you pass the entrance exam. But how was it then living in Yangon? What was that like, especially as a Karen or as an ethnic, and then you're in the middle of the biggest city in the country? What was that experience like?
Yes, when I was in Rangoon, I staying in the Karen communities area. I have relatives in there, so I stay with them. Okay. So I still living and staying with the Karen communities. So for me, it's okay. Everything's.
And then you spent 4 years there?
Yeah, 4 years there, and
And after the 4 years, what did you do?
When I studied at the times, 4 years. second year, second semester, I started to working with the summer linguistics programs, summer institutes of linguistic programs.
Okay.
That's programs from the Payam University.
In
So
Thailand.
they are doing for the like ethnic groups, the indigenous peoples language development programs. So I joined with them.
Okay.
And then a daytime I'm working with them, and then our school is 4 to 8. So daytime working with them, and then the evening part I learnings. So I do like that 2 years.
Okay.
So 11 any school working with us that time. Yeah. So I go any school every year also.
And then after that, what was the next step for you?
After that, 2004, I need to run it out from that area.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And why? What was going on? What was the big cause or the crisis at that time?
Just sometimes it's the number. In that time, the situation is like a little bit confusing time. Also, like the regimes, and then in the regime also another regime. So
regime within the regime.
Yeah. So something like that. So the regime fighting each other. So we are working with ethnic groups. Like indigenous peoples, governments. Those things they don't like it. So regime they don't want the ethnic peoples growing up, right? So I'm working with the ethnic people, literature, developing things. So they are watching every time I go everywhere. So I need to.
So the regime knows who you are, and they were watching you.
Yes,
and
they
watching
know
you.
very well. They know very well. So at that time, the groups, the regime, inside the regime group also, they are very good intelligence thing. So they know.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I believe that the Burma army and the regime is evil, but I don't think they are stupid. Like, they are in their intelligence department. Like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they are not stupid, but they are dirty.
They're dirty.
Yeah, not stupid. They are very clever. They are very clever. But clever, like a dirty clever.
And the Karen people has been this revolution for 75. Last year was the 75-year revolution day, right? And the Karen people, I don't know if you know or not, but when did the Karen people, or where did the Karen people come from before they settle in Karen state? Do you know where the Karen people originally came from?
Yeah, the Karens they come to the Myanmar. The Burmese they come like a two-way, the ALD and the Selwyn.
Okay.
So when they come, Mesopotamia, and then after that they are living in the Mongolia. After that they come to the rivers. Sorry, I forgot the name. Of the river.
No problem.
Mekong.
The Mekong.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mongolia, and then they come Mekong, and after that they separate to the ALV
and this is hundreds of years ago.
Yes, hundreds, thousands. 2,763 is current year. So like
so Karen has their
more
own
than 2,000 years. They are moving like.
Karen has their own years, like calendar.
Yes.
And correct. So it's what, 2000? How many?
2,763.
Wow.
Is current years.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard one time that, you know, the lost tribes of Israel. I've heard somebody told me that they think maybe the Karen people could be a lost tribe of Israel. Mm-hmm. Do you know about this? How have you heard this?
I heard, but I'm not sure. That I don't believe it or.
Okay.
And also, the Mongolia area is Karen are living there. We have some historical proof, man. So
the Karen culture for 2,000 years they hand down their culture and their stories and their traditions. Do they have written text or is it primarily a spoken?
Or they have a poem, the Karen called Ta.
Okay.
That Ta is like a generations to generations they carry on.
Okay.
Yeah, that is a historical poem. So like that. So we learn about the current year histories in the Ta. In Ta, they had readings about that.
Yeah. Would the Karens from traditional years, primarily religion, have been like a traditional animist type religion, or would it have been Buddhism? What would have the main religion have been for Karen people?
The Karen people before any Christians or Buddhists, Karen, we have our own Yua.
Okay.
Yua is God. So Karen has Yua already. Not Christians, not Buddhists. Yeah.
But they believed before they met the Christians, before they met the Buddhists, they believed in a higher power, a higher God.
A higher God. That higher God is Yua. We call Yua. That Yua is like a created everything. So that is Yua.
So for years they knew that there was a creator.
Sure. The Karen, they already know there was a creator because they take care of the forest, they take care of the natural things. That is a creator give it to us. We need to take care, we need to use it, we need to live in together. That is a Karen flaw already.
Okay, I want to come back to the Karen story in a little bit, but I want to pick up your personal story where after you finished university and you did some language studies and then you had to run away. What was next for you? What was going on next in your life after this?
Yeah, after I studies in Bangkok 1 year, and then come to Chiang Mai and working at the Chiang Mai University Communication Science program. 4 years in there, and then I got my child, and then continually take care of my kids, and I'm working with IDB's programs or youth programs.
At some point you were in Pa'an. When did you go back to Karen State and Pa'an, and what were you doing there?
Yeah, that time is like 2016. One of the group from the refugee camp, after ceasefire, that time is after ceasefire. And you were in the Burmese after ceasefire. So one of the IDB orphanage group, not a IDB refugee, orphanage group in the Meramu camp. They back to the original area, like near Taunggu or like a Brigade 3 area. That area, they move back. But that times they have a problems after they out from the camp, and then at the Nanjing area. So they cannot come inside the Burma. They cannot go back their originals. So I go and take care of them that time. So many problems come up. Many problems come up. So I go and I talking with the Burmese government, and then that's kids I will be take care. If not, they will be sent them to the military training areas. So that's all about the 70 people. 70 people. So that
like 70 young people.
Yeah, not all young. Like 60 is as a young, 60 or 65. The old age is old age
and you're helping all these people.
Or I go and talk with the government of the current state, the parliament, and then they don't believe me, and then they catch me, and then they ask me many questions, as many things. I need to pass that, so like crazy, but we can pass, and then finally I got two kids. I can take care of them, and I need to go to the Naypyidaw. I need to deal with the Naypyidaw central government, and then they give me the chance to take care of them. After that, I get back to Chiang or Pa'an, and then I take.
And so when you got back to Pa'an, you got a house or a building or a place for these people to live, or where did they live?
Yeah, at the times, one of the house owners in there, he is helping us to renting his house, and then we rent his house and we stay in there first.
Okay.
After that, we rent the land beside of that house, and then I sell my car and I build the house for them, and then we stay that land like 2 years, nearly 3 years.
You know, one thing that you inspire me, and I learn from you, is that you give everything. Like, you've sold your house, you've sold your car, you've sold everything you own to provide for people, to provide for not even your relatives, but just like people who need help. And I've heard over the years, I've known you now for maybe 3 years since the coup, and several times I've heard, oh, okay, I'm going to sell this land. This is my family land, but I'm going to sell it because these people need help. And it's really amazing, and that inspires me. And I think growing up in America or growing up in Canada, it's this idea of my first priority is to take care of myself, that I should have a nice house, I should have money in my bank account, I should have a car. And then when I met you, I learned quickly that your first priority is not necessarily yourself, but it's your people. Where does that come from? Why do you act that way?
Yeah, our families, they love people who are needs, and then whatever they need, they come to my grandma, and then they come to my father. Oh, I need shirt. My father give them. My grandma, she also take care of the orphan kids. Also, whatever people need around us, they are take care. We are growing up like that.
Yeah.
So for me also, that is our family traditional things. So whatever people's around us, what they need, if we have, we need to take care of them. That is love. That is love. If caring and sharing, that is our family motto. So love is caring and sharing. God also love. So yeah, something.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about like that. That God is also caring and sharing.
Yeah, God is love. Love is caring and sharing. God also caring and sharing.
Yeah.
So God is love. Love, if not caring and sharing, is without action. So if not without actions, God is not action God. Just only.
Yeah, just idea.
Just
idea God.
Yeah.
But God is an action God.
Yeah, God is an action. Yeah, something like that.
Okay, and eventually in Pa'an, you were working or supporting a school there, or orphanage, or what was it?
Yeah, some are orphanage.
Okay.
Some are the broken families.
Okay.
So father side, mother side, they don't take care of them. So they just stay with them, or stay with me, and then I take care of them.
Yeah.
Everything they need, the food, clothes, education, shelters, everything, so whatever they need.
And then if we fast forward until the coup that happened a few years ago, three years ago. Your school then and everything was shut down. You had to leave the area. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened to all the people that were there with you when everyone had to leave? Where did they go?
Yeah, now some kids are staying with me.
Okay.
And the border. Some are already grew up. They are working with their areas. Like our school teachers. Some are physicians with the Bible school, so they are as a religious leaders. So they all around the Kotuli government's control area, the Kenny control areas. They are working, and then some kids not yet, like our age, not yet for the working age, so still study with me. Yeah.
Wow.
So and now the border.
Yeah.
Every month I go back
and forth.
Back and forth. Yeah. So.
Okay, and the Karen. So Karen State is, and I learned this from you. So Karen State is Kotule.
Yes.
And this is a translation, and it means a land without evil. Is that correct?
Yes. A land without evil is Kotuli means.
And so, where does that name come from? How did they come up with this idea of a land without evil?
Yeah, since our ancestor times, they are living without evil lifestyle. No fighting, no evils. Nothing is evil things. Just loving, caring, and then sharing each other, and then staying together. Yeah, that is our ancestral living style. Living like that. So because of that, they call their lands is Gotule. Tulele.
To me, it's really interesting because, well, the first part is that there's an irony about it because the Burma army really wants to fight with the Karen. For 75 years, they've been at war. And the Burma army is really evil. And the Burma army came into Kotule, the territory, the land of the Karen, and brought evil there. And so there is, like, in the fight, in the war, there's been this evil that has come into the land.
Sure. That is sure for us, for the Karen peoples. So since the Burmese peoples or Burmese military not come yet, on that time is very peacefully and then like a no evil time. So after that, after they come and setting up their place, their camp, or evil things are happening in the Karen areas.
So if we go back 75 years, why did the Burmese and the Karen start to fight? What made them want to fight with each other?
It's very long stories now.
Oh, really?
Very long stories. Yeah, that's the Karens. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do like the armed struggle fightings. They do with like our politicals, justice way. The Soba Uji, those kind of people are educated persons. So they don't want to go with the armed struggle fighting way for the justice. But the Burmese, they don't do the justice way like a peacefully way. So like a parliament or the political way, they don't do it. They don't agree with the justice way. So since that times, the Karens they decide to
fight.
Not fight. They
to protect
their peoples. Yeah. So because of those peoples come and attack them. So they need to do the protections for their peoples.
Okay.
So
it's interesting because Sa Baoji as you're saying, is like a political leader and would rather not fight. But one of his famous principles is that the Karen will not lay down their arms. They will not surrender their weapons.
Yes.
And so it's interesting that he got himself to a place where at some point there's no more talking to do.
Yes, that four principle is after they decide to the fighting
to go to the war.
They cause a war.
Like we can't talk anymore.
We
have to fight.
Yeah, we have to fight. We must have our own arms in our hands for the protections for our people, security for our peoples. Yeah. So after that decide. Yeah.
So for 75 years, and like your grandmother, generations have been running from the Burma Army. Conflict has been the constant theme in everyone's life. All Karen people. Is it true?
Yes. It's like our generations of genocided generation. Yeah. Till now we are run. Yeah. So
and you believe that the Burma Army would like to get rid of all Karen people? Is that the goal, do you think?
They was have that kind of goal before. So one of the, I don't want to tell their names, one of the Burmese leaders, they talk about, we don't want to see the like half kilo of the Karen milk. Yeah, in our
they don't want to see anything. Not even milk.
Not even half kilo of our flesh. Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that. Half kilo of Karen flesh is
like too much.
Yeah.
And so they really just want Karen to be gone. Yeah. Wow. Can you tell me a little bit about Food Not Bombs, and what is Food Not Bombs, and when did it start, and how did you come up with this idea?
Yeah. So after 2011, 2011 the Kachin fighting started again. So after that fighting started, I go around the medical trips to the Kachin IDB in the Kachin states.
Okay, so you were all over the country.
Yeah. The Kachin IDB's area, the Laiza, Maijaya, those area. They have many IDB camps there.
Yeah.
So we go around the medical trip there. And then I saw many Kachin IDB's people are hunger, not enough food. After that trips, I try to contact some of my friends, and then we collect some of the donations, and now we give some food for them. That time I got one of my friends also. She helped me a lot for the walking, helping the people for the mother to mother ministries.
Oh, mother to mother.
Yeah, mother to mother ministries.
Okay.
So we go together there, that around the IDB camps, and we encourage to the mother. We give the mother needs the food, right? Food for the families. So we help them. We give the that's programs we do mother to mother ministry, helping things. So yeah.
And so where did it? Okay, go.
I continue. So after Coach 2021, after that, so we heard about for the IDB peoples or the fighting area cannot bring the food freely. They stop. They take.
The Burma Army is taking the food.
Yeah. They cannot bring to the people, so they stop the car
from the aid organization, like
from the aid organization, and then some are like our social volunteer programs. They do like that. So I heard about that news, and then before that, I got the connection is the Funarbon Myanmar activities.
Okay.
So I read about the Funarbon is how is Funarbon. So I read about the after Second World War. After Second World War, some of the American youth like a very dirty, very naughty youth are studied test programs.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
So it's a program that or the name.
The name Funarbon is studied in after World War II.
Oh wow!
So I saw about that information, and then nowadays also I'm in Gothenburg, and then that's also food we cannot bring to freely. We cannot eat. So I started that idea. So we do like a 4 principle.
Okay.
Food for justice, food for free, food for equality, food for peace. Sometimes food no peace. You once you eat no peace, run it out, right?
Oh right, because
the time
you have to eat and run.
Run, yeah. So food for justice, food for equality, food for freedom, food for peace. Yeah, that's
So now over the last 2 or 3 years, what has Food Not Bombs been doing? What are what kind of projects or activities are they doing?
We do many already in the Gotuli areas, like for food securities. We focus on the sustainable food securities.
Okay.
So we give the seeds for the grow. So why I give them for the growing themselves and eat themselves? That is your future. Your food you can make yourself, something like that.
Right.
So stand on yourself.
Yeah.
Something like that. So we
take care of yourself.
Yeah. So nobody cannot stop you, right? If you make your food yourself, you grow yourself, you have your own. Nobody, no governments, no military cannot stop that.
Sure.
Right? So you have your own food beside you.
Yeah.
Something like that. So that's because of that we do like giving the seeds to the communities, and then some activities we are working with the IDP kids for the trauma healings. Yeah.
So what kind of things do you do for trauma healings, and what kind of trauma are these kids facing? They
all are like fighting area kids, right? Some kids they running out from the fighting, so they have many trauma things. Some are already losing their parents. Everything's so they have that kind of trauma.
If somebody in Canada or America, somebody listening to this podcast, if they wanted to support you or support Food Not Bombs, how can they do it? How could they send money, or how could they support? How could they pray for you? How could they support or pay or pray for Food Not Bombs?
Yes, Food Not Bombs nowadays we have dreamed to do more specific things for the people trauma healings activities with the youth and the mother and the kids.
Okay.
Yeah. So for the youth, we do like a football programs. The kids also we do like a football. For the mothers and like a woman age, we do like a cooking programs or plantation programs or the dancing. So we want to do that kind of thing with them also. So we have planned to do those kind of trauma healing activities with the communities, the traumas, the fighting area, IDPs communities.
If I come back to the idea of a land without evil, I think about this kind of the second part of this. The first part is that the Burma army brought evil when they want to fight. But the second part is that the land itself is neither good nor bad. The land is just land. And what really makes it good or evil is the people who live on the land and the actions and the heart of the people that live on the land. And I just think about the land that I come from in Canada or America, I don't think we could say this is a land without evil, because we have evil in our hearts. And when we come, we take over the land and we bring evil with us. And to me, it's interesting how there's a connection to Food Not Bombs and planting seeds in the land to grow sustainable food, to provide for people. But it's also about relationship and giving hope to people, because we want to, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but like, we want to change people's heart and give them some encouragement in their heart. And so it's all just kind of connected in this idea of a land without evil. And so I think it's really interesting.
Yes, one in deeply why we want to do like seed growing up in the land. That is, the land is good, the earth is good, the tree is great. So if the earth is not good, the land is not good, the tree is not planted, and then it's not growing up like that. The people also, if your heart is good, you will be growing up in the shining up in the world. If not, you are not a good person with evils. You cannot growing up in the war. And if you growing up, you cannot shine up in the war. Then you are not a good person. Like evils. So if you are evils, the land also evils. Something like that.
It's, to me, it's just really an interesting name, because I could never imagine calling Canada or America a land without evil. It just seems like so far away. And so I just think it's really interesting that the goal, the name of the place of Kathule is that's what we are striving for. That's what we are hoping to achieve, is a land that has peace, no evil from outside, and no evil from inside. And I think it's really beautiful.
Yes.
So I love it. Okay, now if we move to today, you have many projects on the go. You have many different, you seem to be traveling a lot. And what's going on with you today? What are you working on? What kind of projects do you have?
Whatever I want. Not any other people's supporting to me. I just work with whatever I can, with my strengths, and then the strength from God. So I live one day by one day. I'm not worried about tomorrow, because of tomorrow also I don't know. But today is I living with God way. I just thought about that, and then yes. So last year December, we took one of the real stories movie films.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about the real story from the Bive Fright, one of the family's stories. So the films will be show up in the war. The international standard films. That film is.
Where can people see it?
Not yet. And now the first the openings programs in Singapore first.
Okay.
Yeah, Singapore government also, they agree to show up in their country. So they will be at the cinemas, one of the Singapore cinemas. So that's film's head title is Paper Airplane.
Paper Airplane.
Yeah, Paper Airplane.
In your opinion, what is the future of the conflict in Burma? That's a big question, but
that's a big question, but nobody don't know. But God knows. And also, we must do the monitoring. We must do the monitor on the people who are leading the political way, or they are really emphasized for the people, or really for the good country, good governments, good things on the country coming up for the futures. If not, they are pure heart, not really good for the peoples, cannot come up the country is will be.
Yeah. And now, what is, like, Min Aung Hlaing, the general, the dictator in Burma? I mean, I think he cannot win.
For sure.
So, like, what do you think, in your opinion, what do you think might happen with him? What do you think will be the next big step in Burma?
Yeah. In these situations, finish the transitional period is we need to do more justice. Transitional justice is
More justice.
Yeah, more. We need to work for more justice. So transitional justice is important for the peoples. If not the justice, the transitional period, we cannot do the transitional justice things. The people cannot get the justice.
That's interesting.
So more fighting again.
It's interesting because in the transition, there already needs to be a show of justice. There needs to be justice discussed and talked about in the transition. Otherwise, it will never make it to the next step. And so, yeah, it's interesting to think about, because I think, like, there's so many things that, like, even justice, and what does that look like? I have no idea. How can you even start? And I think about, for example, all the prisoners, the people in Burma, and there's so many prisoners that are arrested and tried and given a sentence under the dictator's government, but it would never be a real crime. It's only a crime because the dictator says this is a crime. But after the transition, do you have to go back and re-look at every single prisoner in Burma and find out? Because sure, there is somebody in Burma who is a murderer. There is somebody in Burma who is a bad person and should go to jail. But not everyone in the jail is in the same. And so it means you have to look at every single person, and that's just jail. But then in the bigger picture of justice, like, there is land that has been stolen. There's been 75 years of killing. There's justice at a whole nother level. And it's hard for me to even know how to begin.
For me, for the transitional justice beginning is the politicians and then the leaders of politics they need to make the constitutional justice.
So justice has to be built into the constitution.
Building the constitutions. That constitutions will make every ethnic or every indigenous peoples, every area for the justice things. Yeah. So they make sure for the constitutional justice is very important for the transitional justice.
Yeah, I mean, now I've spent 10 years in Burma and working in Burma, and the longer I stay in Burma, the less I try to think about I don't know. I have no idea. 1 year or 2 years in Burma, I think, oh yeah, if everybody just talked together and solved the problem, you can do it. But then the more I get to know the conflict, I realize, like, oh, it's very complicated. It's like there's a lot of layers to this, and there's so many different ethnic groups. And for example, the Chin are very different and the Arakan are very different than the Karen. Different kind of culture, different kind of personality, but they're all. Do you think Karen State has a future in Burma, or do you think it has a future independent? In your opinion?
Not really independent.
Okay.
maybe they can control.
Like, what is a realistic future for Kothule?
For the realistics for Kothule is not clear yet.
Okay.
Because of the bad side. Many colonial things or the many things many things are playing with them. So not clear yet.
Okay. Last year there was a conversation about was it Kothule, Karenni, Shan, and Mon to step away from Burma? Is that a realistic possibility, or what is the situation? Do you know what is the situation with that process or that idea?
That idea should be because of the Karen, Shan, Kachin. They try to collaborate with holistics or the solidarities with the Burmese Myanmar and the Burmese country. So they don't want to separate with that country. So they collaborate with support the Burmese politicians.
Right.
Or many ways they collaborate with them. But there is nothing come up, nothing. So agreement again like this. So this time is they should decide. They must
leave. Is there support, international support for that idea?
There's some countries they may see that who really know about the strugglings of the ethnic people strugglings. They may support that. But some people they just some country they just see their own benefit, so they don't support it like that. So they just
okay. I'm curious about your faith and how have you seen or experienced God in your life, and like what are some things for you that have stood out as moments where you really thought, God, I need your help, or God, I need you to help me in this, and how has your faith guided your life?
For me, since I was young, after 16 years, I leave from my home. I live alone. I go alone. I do alone. Whatever I want to do, I decide. But before I go, before I decide, I pray first. I pray after that. Whatever come up. After I pray, whatever come up, I do it. Everything. I don't afraid of any other. So, I know that is God give me the answer. I go with God with me. I will do that.
So you pray, and then what's coming next in your life, you feel like you can go with God in it. You have courage, just even if it's dangerous, even if it's unclear. You go, okay, God is leading me this way, and you just go.
Yes. The times the kids they are traveling in that areas, I just pray. I met with them in Maramu camp. I go there for the dental clinics. Their dormitories. I met them one time in there. And then the day they are traveling in there, I give them my phone numbers. They call me, and I just go. I don't think anything where that's my people. They are often kids. They have no other people help them, so I would go and help something like that. Just go.
Even like you only met them one time.
Yeah, but I know they are refugees. They are orphans. They are they have no other people help them.
And you met them. You gave your phone number, and then they call you.
Yeah.
And you just. Okay, it's time to go.
Yeah. Wow. That time I'm in Lasho, and then they are in Nanjing. So they call me. I drive my car from Lasho to there, and then in the road I need to stay one night. So I go there, and I just go straight to the current state, the Pa'an Parliament buildings, and I talk to them, and I want to help them. I want to bring them to Pa'an, something like that. Now they are stopping in that Myeju area, so they have no food, no shelters, nothing. So I want to bring them to Pa'an, and I want to take care of them, something like that.
How many people was that?
70
people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Something like that.
And so your faith in your life has guided you.
Yes.
And what does your faith look like today? Like on a day to day, now you're trying to living day by day. What does your faith look like for you?
Yeah, mornings when I wake up, and then I just pray, and then God, the whole day your hands. My plan is like this, but I don't know your plan. But if my plan is your will, is going on. If not your way, just crash me down. I pray like that every day. I go. Even my daughter also, she know well. Momo, after you pray, I also follow you, something like that. So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because a few weeks ago, I'm waiting for some land for our school. And I'm thinking, should I wait? Should I go? Should I stop? And my prayer is, okay, God, this is my plan. I'm going to keep going, but please close the door, make it clear, like stop, because I am not smart. And so like, I need God be obvious and make it like impossible for us to continue, because my idea is to go forward and I need God to like stop me at times. And sometimes God will say, okay, go do it. And other times God will say, okay, it's not this way. It's not that time. I want you to go. And maybe it looks different. Maybe it looks like a flat tire, or somebody call you and ask, I need your help. And your idea was to go one way, but then your phone ring and now you're going a different way. But maybe this is God's guiding and leading in our life. And I like your prayer. I think it's good.
So for me, one thing is before this 2021 military coach, I never talk about the politics or history or whatever I doing things. I never talk to the people. I just walk like quietly. Whatever I walk, but must be the helpful for the peoples, or I don't tell any people. I just talk with God and I walk. But in this time, the medias or the live streams, or they want me to talk. For me, very difficult. I never talk to the people like that. Live streams or talk many things. So I pray God. I have no experience like that. But nowadays, many politics page or they want to interview with me. They want me to talk like live streams. So I cannot do that. But if your will, please give me the strength. Because for me, the Burmese language also very difficult to talk to in front of the people also. So not confidence for the language. So, but I can talk clearly to the people. So that is everything.
Yeah.
From him, like that.
I remember right after the military coup, 2021, and we were asked so all these people were fleeing, coming out from the universities and the cities, and so we were asked by the Karen to lead a small training in 7th Brigade. And we went to the 7th Brigade, and we had this just really incredible, amazing training. And the students were so passionate and so on fire. Some of these students, some of them have been killed now, but some of them are still some very dear friends of mine. And when we finished this training, it was very emotional, and because at this time, Burma Army started bombing with the jets again. And we had a prayer service, and they lit candles in the the courtyard, and I can't even remember. Maybe it said freedom or something. They spelled a word with all these candles. Freedom. And I remember you were there, and they asked you to pray for our students. And you prayed maybe in Burmese or Karen, I don't remember, but I didn't understand the Karen, but I felt your heart in the prayer, that you were just, the passion in you was burning. And I thought, whoa, this lady is very strong for her people, very strong for freedom. And it always was like the flame of the candles, that prayer was burned in my mind. And that training was really an amazing training. And then over the time, our paths kept crisscrossing. And as we formed the Jungle Discipleship School, and some of the guys that joined us, they all call you their older sister or mom, and they all like just want to spend time with you, and they love spending time with you, and they know you. And I just want to encourage you that you just have an impact. And I think people want you to come and talk on like this podcast or political news or live streams, because you have a voice and you're not afraid to use your voice, and you have a big heart, and you follow God, you follow your heart and love people. And that changes our students' life at JDS, and it changes all of the students that you pray for. Like, you're changing lives one by one by one by one, orphans and widows and mothers, and you're doing amazing work inside Burma. So keep going.
Yes, I will, because of I promised to God when I am running out the day in out after that coach.
Yeah,
I was in Pa'an, and then I helped some youth in there. And then the Burmese, they come for catch me and ran it out. So that night, I have no the underwear, nothing in the bed time.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed my important bag, and then I ran it out. So that night, I prayed to God, God, please give me a chance to back my daughter home. I want to see my daughter. I want to take care of my daughter. My daughter is not growing up yet. She need my take care of thing. So in this time, the Burmese, they cannot catch me. And then if I can back to my daughter, I would do everything for freedoms and justice things. I will give my life to them. I do the promise with God that time. Wow. Really, I'm afraid, and I pray that really to the God and touching like that, and I grab. So the next morning, I to the Tibita. I arrived to Tibita and then cross back, and I drive back to my daughter, and I praise God. God, I will do my promise.
Wow. Yeah. And the Burma army was chasing, like they were trying to find you. They were trying to arrest you.
One of my kids, the one who I take care, as Pa'an Holmes, he also with me. We need to run it out. That and the car with the sniper also. We are hiding one place. After that, I call my group who can come and bring it out me, and then they also FBR. So they come to our place, and then we just
get out. And if the Burma army catch you, you think jail? They put you in jail, or what do they do?
Yeah, whatever they want to do, they may do, because they know what.
Yeah,
they know already.
They know you.
Yeah, they know me. They know me. They know for the 70 kids issue also. They already know it.
Sure.
Right? So I'm not afraid anything. I just go and
because you are already advocating for these 70 people. Like they already know they have a history with you.
Yes. After that, we have a movement with the reggae singer Sopukwa.
Okay.
The one who working for the like a UN Thai representative something.
Okay.
So activities. He is the one representative from the UN activities in Burma. So our group, our kids, we are working with him for the peace, singing together with on the stage, those things. So the day the groups, the military groups, they catch him in Rangoon. So the some people, they already call me. After they catch him, your time will come.
You're next.
Yeah. So exactly.
Oh wow. So you know they're coming for you.
Yeah.
And you have to go. And okay, I have a few last questions here. First question is, if you were to say something to the young people, the Karen young people who are in Canada, who are in America, who are in Australia, who are around the world, about what would your message be for them? They are in a place where the Canadian culture is not really their culture. And if you are born second generation or third generation in Canada or a foreign country, they're starting to feel like the Karen culture is not really theirs either. And where do they fit? And so I'm just curious, what would you say to them? How would you encourage them?
Be still with who you are. Who you are. You must know who you are, and then where you are come from, and then what is your dreams, and what is your freedoms. Where is your freedoms?
Yeah, and freedom in Burma looks very different from freedom in Canada. They're two different kinds of freedom.
Yeah, if you want to, if you talk about the freedoms, two types. One is the physical freedoms. One is the spiritual, the mentally and spiritual freedoms. So we must build up about the spiritual and mentally freedom first. If you're spiritually or you're mentally not free, your physical cannot free.
Yeah.
So now, which part do you want to free? And also, if you know who you are, which part you need to free first?
Yeah, good
question. So that is important.
Very good question. Would you encourage these Karen that live abroad to come back to Kothule, to visit, to experience their homeland? What do you think about that?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
They can make trips and visit and support the revolution, support the people. Yeah. Okay. And what about, do you have any ideas for the KNU, the current KNLA, the Karen Kothule, like what kind of ways should people be supporting or praying for the KNU, praying for the Karen leaders, praying for the KNLA? In which ways is it good for our listeners to pray for Kothule?
Yeah, for the leaders, not for the people, right?
Sure.
Yeah, for the leader is they must doing like a righteousness thing on. If not the righteousness thing on the leaders, the people cannot free also. So because of our current ancestor teach us, if not the current people not have the righteousness things, the people cannot free. So the leader must be live on righteousness.
Yeah, it's an amazing prayer to pray that your leaders would have righteousness in them.
In them, yeah. So whatever leader, which persons come up, we need to pray. There is the always prayer things for the current leaders or for current leaders.
Yeah. It also, like, even I reflect and I think, okay, as a leader, do I have righteousness in me? Am I living a righteous life? Am I leading with righteousness as the foundation for my decisions and my leadership? And yeah, it's a good question. It's a challenge for all of us.
Sure.
And how can people pray for you?
For me?
For you personally?
For me, is just healthy. And then more, if I have more helpfulness, I will do more for the people. Yeah. So I need only healthy.
Is there a way, if somebody is living in Canada or America, is there a way if somebody wants to donate money to you or to Food Not Bombs, how can they do it?
Yeah, we have a bank account.
Okay.
And then they can transfer, or you can do with Western Unions or whatever they want to.
Okay.
So.
And they can. How can people find you on Facebook? Or is there a Food Not Bombs page? Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay.
For our Facebook pages, they can contact us.
Okay.
So we have our admin teams.
Okay, and so when we put out the podcast, I will link the Food Not Bomb Katule show note in the show notes, and then if people want to give, they can contact the admin team. And if somebody wants to donate some money to you or to Food Not Bombs, then you can give them the details there.
Yes.
Okay, great. I mean, I hope that people, I just think, even, Baikwa, so Baikwa, who is now with Jungle Discipleship School, he loves agriculture. He loves to teach people about seeds, and he believes in these 4 principles like you talked about. And so it's growing out. It's growing across Burma, and you're doing awesome work. But okay, do you have any final thoughts, any final comments or things that you would like to share, or any final encouragement for our people listening to the podcast?
Yes. So for the without evil things, we must know ourselves first. We must clear our heart first, and then we must be the loving persons. The loving thing is helping and caring. So if the people love to each other, helping and caring, that's also peaceful things happens in our communities, our families, our countries. So we must have real love inside our heart. So
yeah, it's like peace is an action. Peace is active. When we go and we love and when we care for people, we are bringing peace in that. Peace is not just the absence of war. Peace is not just the absence of evil, but it's actually an active going to bring love, going to bring and finding love in my heart to bring to other people.
Sure. Love in action. Love in action.
I love it. Well, you are love in action in my life, in Katule, in the lives of our students. And I hope when we actually get going with the school that you will come to visit us, and you're welcome to come and encourage and teach and hang out with our students every time. You're always welcome. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for coming and sharing your story on the podcast. And it's an honor to have you, to talk with you today.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for asking me many questions also, because I have no experience that those kind of answering thing also. Well, but I love to answer to you. So if other medias, I don't do it because of nowadays I don't want to do. I don't want to walk. I don't want to talk. So I'm that kind of person.
Well, I hope that for people listening, that they're motivated from listening to you to go to work, to go and to give and to sacrifice for helping people and bringing peace and love to other people and justice. So thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you too.